problems at the VA we've been telling you about, and they continue. So what are some of the issues veterans want immediately addressed? We have somebody here who's focusing on that.
We brought in Pete Hegseth to talk about that. He joins us now to answer your questions. We have some veterans questions for you.
And you brought me in after the Christmas party, too, which is double duty. So.
Although I will say he is a very good bowler. First up, the question is this from Robbie.
Robbie says, how will the VA combat corruption and avoid awarding bonuses to executives who do not meet targeted objectives?
Oh, man, so much of that requires transparency. If the public knows how hospitals are performing and what the wait times are for veterans at those hospitals, the pressure of the reality of a bad facility and a good facility it comes on the VA. So you've got to know how well they're performing and then hold people accountable and have the tools to hold them accountable, to fire them if they're not performing, and not give them a bonus if they aren't.
But there's got to be some oversight to make sure that they're giving bonuses for the right reason, right? They're not screwing with the numbers. And
right now it's a default bonus no matter what, which is not a bonus. When you get it, no matter what, it's not a bonus. It has to be based on whether or not you're performing and your facility is performing. That's not a difficult thing to do.
And Pete, yesterday we were talking about the fact that the VA has a secret system of rating facilities and nobody knows about it.
But the Phoenix VA director who had a 1-star is still getting a bonus.
Yeah.
That can't be the case. You have to have a standard. The top level are not unionized, but the vast majority are.
All right, Sophia asked this of you, Pete. My husband is currently deployed overseas and has spent 25 years defending the country. How is the VA going to improve health care for him and his family when he retires? TRICARE needs some work on its programs, although TRICARE does get a thumbs up from a lot of people.
TRICARE is the military system and does get thumbs up from a lot of people, including me, who used TRICARE for a long time.
Too.
When you're in, right?
When I was in, and when I was in the National Guard. That's the type of system the VA should have. The ability to go to a military facility or a VA facility, or in TRICARE, I always went to a private provider because, and I chose the doctor I wanted to go to. That's the idea behind what the VA should have. Go to the VA if you want to, or go to a private provider with a card that says, hey, the government's going to pay for this regardless of where I go.
Private provider would be great.
It's been done before in other places like TRICARE. There's no reason why the VA can't. And opponents of it say, you want to privatize it and shut it down. That's just not true. We want to give a veteran a choice like TRICARE.
Absolutely. All right. Meanwhile, Alan asked this. What will you do about the corrupt unions that continue to play politics and use intimidation tactics to keep all corruption issues quiet?
Take them on. The union at the VA is the AFGE. They don't like me because we've been taking them on for years, calling them out for the fact they protect the status quo. It's one thing to protect your workers, and that's fine. I get why unions exist. But when you protect corrupt workers or criminal workers or workers who aren't doing their job, you become the problem. So you got to sit down with them and say, we're going to fire people who deserve to be fired, change the civil service laws.
And they're going to go through the legal.
Of course they are, and they're going to personally assault people that are going back to them, which is how they always operate. But this is where Donald Trump is the perfect president in this moment. He's willing to fight back. You have to change those civil service laws so that you can fire people who right now can't be fired.
From firing to hiring, we saw famously you yesterday being escorted upstairs through the golden elevators. How did your third job interview go with President-elect Trump?
He's going to be an amazing president. I truly believe that. He's authentic. We had a good conversation. It's up to him, not me. So I will happily not comment, but I'm grateful to be considered.
I know Scott Brown and Jeff Miller are two others listed as the finalists for that. Did he do a compare and contrast, what you do compared to them?
No. I'm not going to answer that question.
No, you're not going to answer, or no, he didn't do it?
No, both.
Okay.
No, I think
we had a good conversation, and it's the decision totally up to him, obviously.
Well, everywhere I've gone for the book, people say to me, we hope he gets the position. We would be sad to have you leave Fox, but it would be great.
I don't want to leave Fox at all, so.
Yeah. Well, you've served our country 2 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan, and we really thank you for
that.
And
you're so passionate about the vets.
No, if you would have a moment to fix it, how could you pass that up?
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
All right. Peter, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And as Steve said, you're a very good bowler.
Very good bowler.